Well, we mentioned earlier that Michael Jordan has had some awesome performances here in Boston. Well, his greatest ever back in 1986. This one, Jordan came back from injury. He hit for 63 points against the Celtics. But it was Boston winning game 2 of a 3-game sweep of a playoff series. Celtics did it in double overtime, 135-111. Michael Jordan with 63 points. However, this afternoon thus far, he has been quiet. Only 4 for 13 from the field for 9 points. That has been it. For more on Michael, let's go to Ahmad.
Well, Marv, during that last timeout, Michael Jordan was complaining to the official, Joe Forte, that he is being fouled repeatedly on the shot and not getting any calls.
Mike, what are they doing against Jordan that has been so effective?
Well, they did spend time yesterday putting in, let's call them the Celtics rules for Michael Jordan. A little bit different than they've played him in the past, as Larry Bird strokes another jump shot. Last 2 games against him, they felt that Jordan had wrecked the team, so they went over specific things they wanted to do on certain areas of the floor against Michael Jordan, and so far, it seems to be working.
Earlier this season, he did have a 41-point performance against Boston. What specifically are they doing?
I was sworn to secrecy once again. They just decided who's going to do the double teaming, where they're going to come from. Are they going to double all the time, or tip in with the drive, transition basketball, get those easy scores for the Bulls? They're just trying to make it clear to the other players on the team when you're going after them, when you're not, and who's coming, how you treat post-ups, how you treat pick and rolls.
Why would it work here today? It hasn't worked in the past.
Because I think in the past, they basically went with the philosophy of, hey, we're going to play him straight up, get a little help if we can, but let's not make it an issue. This time they made it an issue.
Brian Shaw called for the foul. This copyrighted telecast is being presented by authority of the National Basketball Association and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the NBA. 5.5 to go in the third. Boston by 2. Jordan with a rare open shot.
One of the few times that he's been standing by himself, could catch a pass. And, you know, sometimes in timeouts, you need to remind the team, hey, guys, you need to do a little better job of screening so we can get Michael open for some open shots, because they're being very aggressive with him.
The game is tied at 67. Parrish off the head fake beats Cartwright. Oh! Robert Parrish with a baseline move, whipping by Bill Cartwright. Boston 69, Chicago 67. Jordan eluding a triple team.
Michael really wanted to get that shot off that time because he had made the previous one. He wants to see if he can get himself on a little roll.
Campbell off a gorgeous pass from Bird. Terrific basketball end-to-end. Boston 71 and Chicago 69. 4.5 left. In the third, Grant took a shot inadvertent from Bird. He's playing with the prescription goggles, which have worked well, but he was poked.
Bird trying to move him out of the post area. 2 cutters go now. Bird trying to reach over to deflect the ball. Just gets a little piece of the head.
Second foul committed by Bird. Now Reggie Lewis uptight on Michael Jordan. And it's an offensive, or is it a travel? Let's see. Traveling violation.
Michael Jordan has such a great first step, but this one, he takes a few too many, in the official's opinion.
Yes, moving both feet at the same time. A no-no. Off the double, Parrish returns it to Shaw. And the Bulls in the open floor. Jordan with the save for Pippen. Rebound, Pippen. Oh, he blew the start. Reggie Lewis. Larry Bird. The Boston Celtics take a 4-point lead, and Phil Jackson wants to talk it over. 3:41 to go, third quarter. Celtics with a 4-point lead on the Chicago Bulls. Now, if the playoffs began today, the breakdown of the matchups in the Eastern Conference, the Knicks would go against the #1 seed Chicago. It would be Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Atlanta, Detroit, and Indiana and Boston. Celtics the #2 seed in the East. In the West Conference, Seattle would open against Portland, Utah, Phoenix, Houston, and the Lakers, and Golden State against San Antonio.
You know, sometimes when you're trying to get your star off, one screen is simply not enough. Right here, Chicago gives Jordan 2 screens so he can get open at the top of the circle for a jump shot. If you can't get him with one guy, use 2 people, make it a good big screen. That'll help get your player off for an open J.
Now let's go over to Ahmad Rashad.
All right, Mark, during that last time out, Phil Jackson said he wants to get more offensive rebounds and try to get his team to be more up-tempo, try to run with Jordan and Pippen.
All right, Ahmad, Celtics have had the edge off the boards throughout. Bird on the rebound. He's been double figures in the rebounding department. Pippen picking up his second.
That's 2 potential scores that Scottie Pippen's had. The dunk last time that didn't go in. This time, in frustration, tries to stop. Actually, his feet just give way that time, gets a piece of D. Brown. A good point, by the way, that Ahmad made there. The half-court defense of the Celtics has been so good. They've challenged and changed so many shots that what Phil Jackson is saying is, hey, let's get him in the open floor, get away from the half-court defense.
D. Brown has checked back in, as has Ed Pinckney. Here's Lewis. Nice move. Going right at Jordan, and then succeeding with the pull-up. Boston 75, Chicago 69. It's been close throughout. At one point, Celtics led by as many as 7. Jordan, yes. Well, he has located the touch. He has 15. He is 7 for 16, but he's 4 out of 5 here in the third quarter. Pinckney being given the room. Takes the return. What a recovery! Yes, and it counts.
Eddie Pinckney with the good hands there. Late pass, finds the handle, and still maintains the concentration with the opportunity now for a 3-point play.
Ed Pinckney hits 7 of 7 from the field against the Cavaliers in the victory Friday night, and he is 2 for 2 here this afternoon. Boston 78, Chicago 71. Jordan getting inside and is fouled. Michael Jordan will go to the line. Here's Kevin McHale. Parrish picked up the foul, his third. McHale making his return from the sprained ankle, played 6 minutes in the first half, 1 for 5 from the field, looking a bit on the rusty side.
Chris Ford just trying to let him feel his way back into it, wearing that big heavy brace on the one ankle. Gave him 6 minutes in the first half. Could probably give him another stretch here, 5 or 6 minutes, and see how he's doing.
Will Perdue coming on now for Bill Cartwright. Cartwright only 3 points.
There's that brace that we talked about. Ahmad had shown us earlier in the game, and that thing, it's tough to jump and run with a brace such as that.
Michael Jordan 2 for 2 from the foul line. Michael comes in leading the NBA in scoring at 30.8. And it's Boston 78, Chicago 73. McHale guarded by Grant. Now Bird backing Pippen, 5 of the 24. Brown fires, yes. D. Brown, the rookie from Jacksonville, has hit on 5 out of 6. He's bounced back from an 0 for 6 on Friday night. Celtics by 7. Lewis again cutting off the path to Jordan, and Bird jumping out to break it up.
Nice job of double teaming Jordan and then rotating, anticipating where the next pass was going to be by Larry Bird.
Rebounded by Grant. Bird has not been looking for the three-pointers. He's been off in that department recently. Jordan had it knocked away by Bird. And again, Bird stepping in the path to help break up the play. It will be Chicago ball with 1:21 remaining in the third. Cleveland and Philadelphia tied at 68 in the third quarter. And Charlotte by 2 over Washington. There's a three. The Bulls have been hitting from long range. Paxson with his second of the day. He has 16. And it's Boston 80, Chicago 76. D. Brown. Make it 6 for 7, 12 points for Brown.
Chicago may have to change their thinking on the way they're playing D. Brown. They started out the game saying every pick and roll, every chance we could against Shaw and Brown, we're going to go underneath the screen. We got to fight over it, I think, with D. Brown. He's proven today that he's making shots.
Will Perdue hit on the arm by Kevin McHale. Third foul for McHale. So Will Perdue will go to the foul line. He is only a 66% free throw shooter. Phil Jackson telling us last night that he has been satisfied with the work of Will Perdue as of late. Here's B.J. Armstrong. John Paxson departs. He's been a major factor. 7 for 11, 16 points. Will Perdue in his third season out of Vanderbilt. Earlier this year, he complained about lack of playing time. Misses both free throws. And Boston with a 6-point lead and 40 seconds to go in the third. Now Brown being guarded by Armstrong, got picked off, and Brown hits again. D. Brown weaving his way for the bucket. He now has 14. Boston by 8. And the foul call. That's number 4 on McHale.
D. Brown feels it right now. He gets it going that time, hits the little floater, moving into the lane. Here's the drive to the basket by Pippen. He goes strong here. McHale just as strong, challenging the shot.
Scottie Pippen will shoot a pair. He's a 67% free throw shooter. 18 for Pippen. B.J. Armstrong telling us he feels the major difference between this year's Bulls and last year, the fact that Pippen last year was an average NBA player. He is now an all-star, and that has helped to lift this club.
He's stepped up his productivity. The team has stepped up the number of games that they've won, and he's also stepping up his contract negotiations.
Yes, he is. He was dissatisfied about the way things were going earlier, but it looks like they're closing in on making a new deal. Reggie Lewis continues the hot Boston shooting. Final seconds of the third. Celtics by 8. Pippen beating Pickney. Here's Armstrong getting it off. After 3, the Celtics hear it from the crowd. They lead the Bulls 86-78. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. Easter Sunday in Boston at a capacity crowd 14,890. Turning out of the Boston Garden, their 487th consecutive sellout. The Boston Celtics with a solid performance after 3, leading the Chicago Bulls 86-78. Marv Albert with Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Pat Riley. Well, Michael Jordan getting back into it, though, in the third quarter with 10 of the Bulls' 31 points after the slow start. Jordan with only 7 at halftime. He now has 17. And the Celtics burning it up 16 for 22 in the third. Not that the Bulls shot badly. D. Brown Brings it across against B.J. Armstrong. Bird up front with McHale and Pinckney. Lewis beating Hodges. Greg Hodges played briefly in the first half. He and Armstrong at the guards. And now Jordan is playing at a forward position, and he's posting up on Brown.
Exactly. Phil Jackson trying to shake things up right here with a different combination. Now has Michael Jordan up front as the small forward, and he has two very small guards in the backcourt right now. Jordan trying to post up down the low block here. Good job of D. Brown of rooting him out, getting him away from the paint.
Rooting him out.
Yes, coaching terminology. As the year goes on, you'll pick up all the lingo.
Thank you very much, Mike. Very tough today. Grant called for that last foul. And off the reject, here comes Jordan. Now met by Bird. And he drew the foul. Off the head fake, Larry Bird charged with his fourth.
The point in sliding Jordan up front is somebody from that front line has to defend him off the dribble. That time it wound up being Bird on Jordan. Bird has to give him room because he knows he's too quick. Jordan got him in the air with the pump fake, drew the foul.
Direction, that number 3 on Bird. 3 apiece on Bird and Gamble. Michael Jordan with his usual exploits, leading the NBA at 30.8, third in steals, among the leaders in field goal percentage. .86-80 Boston. Well, Larry Bird with 20 points to lead the Celtics, and Michael Jordan heating up in the second half, and they are now matched, which is most unusual. Here's Brown. He's been on fire. Yes, and it counts.
When you got it going, you get all the rolls. That thing caught the rim, found its way back in. Touch, shooter's touch. That's what he would tell us. He just elevates up over the top of the defensive player. And as we mentioned, there are two very small guards on the floor right now for Chicago.
Armstrong called for the foul, his third. D. Brown, 17 points. He is 8 for 10 from the field. And the Celtics lead 89-80. Here's Jordan. And McHale gets to it. Pinckney for McHale.
Excellent feed by Eddie Pinckney. Turned in the lane to make his move and found his teammate trailing down the middle.
Biggest lead of the game. Boston by 11, and the Bulls take a timeout. Ed Pinckney delivering to Kevin McHale. The Celtics by 11.
A couple of seconds ago, D. Brown took a shot. He was fouled. The ball went in, and you heard the announcer go, yes, and it counts. To show you how quick they are here in Boston, these shirts are circulating all over the arena, and I think they can be bought here. Boy, what a catchy phrase.
Well, Ahmad merchandising some very fine-looking shirts, Mike.
It's the stylish thing right now. My only concern was the color today. I'd like to be a little more color coordinated.
And I like the look.
Thank you. Notice the lettering on
yes.
match, but this, no good. I don't like that part of it.
Back to the action quickly. Boston with the 11-point advantage. Michael Jordan now being guarded by Ed Pinckney. And Michael Jordan with 21. Celtics lead at 91-82. 2 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter.
Here comes the post-up now of Bird against Jordan.
He goes to the hook. Well, the Bulls claiming offensive interference, but the basket counts. It's Ed Pinckney once again.
Pinckney got that long arm there. Their complaint, the Bulls, is that the ball was still on the rim when he tipped it in.
D. Brown off that Bulls turnover. McHale for 3. 3-pointer for Kevin McHale. He'll take it. The Bulls may be beginning to get the idea this is not their day.
Kevin McHale now 12 for 34 from the three-point line, shooting over 33%. He likes shooting that three-pointer.
He has discovered the joys of long-range shooting this season. In the past, he did not look to shoot from downtown. That was number 4 on Larry Bird.
I think he started his three-point assault in that playoff series against Detroit a few years back.
B.J. Armstrong cuts it to a 13-point Boston lead. Here's Scottie Pippen returning. Replaces Craig Hodges, who did not score. So the Celtics opening it up. 9-10 remaining in the fourth. And it's Boston with a 12-point advantage. John Paxson has been hot, getting set to return. Pippen getting a piece of it. 10 on the 24. Here comes Paxson, replacing Armstrong. Coming up next, right here on NBC, live final round coverage of the Players' Championship from the Tournament Players Club at Sawgrass. Paul Azinger, the leader, after a third round 69 yesterday. He's at 12 under 204. That's one stroke in front of Fuzzy Zeller. Here's Pippen. Oh, spectacular move by Scottie Pippen. He has 21, and the Celtics lead at 96-86. Timeout being taken by Boston. 8:35 remaining in the fourth. Phil Jackson not pleased. All right, Charlie, here in Boston, the Celtics with a 96-86 lead on the Bulls. 8:35 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Here's the play that got quite a few of the Bulls upset. When Bird missed his hook, they're claiming that the ball was still in the cylinder when Pinckney reached up and tipped it in. They're saying no basket. Unfortunately, the scoreboard said 2 points for Boston.
Cleveland and Philadelphia tied at 83 in the fourth at the Spectrum in Philly. And word from Philadelphia, Charles Barkley forced out of the game, will not return, injured strained ligament of the left knee, and we do not know the severity of that injury. So Barkley sidelined. Michael Jordan puts the move on Reggie Lewis and gets the roll. 23 for Jordan, who's come on in the second half.
He only made that shot over the top of 4 players that time.
Dee Brown with a long stint. He has played very well. Here's Lewis. Oh! Pippen lost it. Pinckney with a good play. Ed Pinckney continues to excel.
In his one-on-one move, Michael Jordan knows that he can take any one defender. But when it's 1, 2, 3, and even 4 coming over, still pretty tough.
A hand for the combination of Pinckney, Brown, and McHale. They sit down. Bird, Parrish, and Gamble return. Here's Lewis. Jordan went for the strip. And back comes Pippen.
And then a nice rotation by Grant, also challenging the shot.
Scottie Pippen brings Chicago within 6. 8 consecutive points by the Bulls, and the Celtics take a timeout.
Jordan goes for the steal, misses, but now watch Grant get the arm out, extend, makes him miss the open shot.
7:39 remaining in the fourth. Boston 96, Chicago 90.
The Philadelphia 76ers, the Chicago Bulls, Barkley, Jordan, Sir Charles meets the Lord of the Air. Can the big boys from Philly humble the hottest team in the NBA? The NBA on NBC. Come fly with us.
Back in Boston, the Celtic lead is now 6 off a burst by the Bulls. 7:39 remaining. In the fourth, let's go over to Ahmad.
Well, Mark, during that last timeout, Chris Ford was very upset at his team, saying they're standing around too much on the offense and they're slow getting back in that transition defense. Therefore, Chicago is taking advantage of it by letting Jordan and Pippen start running.
Well, the Boston bench has done the job, sparked by D. Brown with 17, his career high 22. Joe Forte with the call on Pippen. That is his 4th. He is the only Bull in foul trouble. Larry Bird has 4, as does Kevin McHale. Lewis double team. Celtics back to Shaw and Lewis in the backcourt. Bird up front with Gamble and Parrish. Chris Ford back to his starting lineup. 8 on the shot clock. Bird for 3. Larry Bird from downtown. He now has 23. He's opened up a 9-point lead.
Defensive mistake that time by Grant. With the clock running down, that's the time to crowd, Larry. Make him beat you off the dribble in the late stages with the clock down.
His first 3-pointer of the day. Grant, yes, 99-92 Celtics. Grant has 15, 6:45 remaining in the 4th. Bird, quick release.
And Grant up just a little bit closer that time, challenging the shot. He said, no more easy ones.
Jordan, yes. Michael Jordan has 25. He had 7 at the half. It's a 5-point Boston lead. Shaw. Oh, it's a jump shooting exhibition. And the Celtics lead 101-94. Jordan backing Lewis. Paxson. Get it! And back come the Celtics.
Little 2-man basketball now. Pick and roll.
And the good play by Paxson, tying up Shaw.
Paxson saw him holding that ball out in front and said, wait a minute, before I get knocked off here by Larry Bird's screen, I'm going to get my hands in there and get a piece of this. You put it out in front, he'll take it. Maybe take a little bit of the wrist with it, but the idea is good.
Celtics control the tap. Good look by Bird. It's a goaltend. Purdue slapping it aside. It will count. Reggie Lewis getting credit for the field goal.
You shake that guy free underneath. Larry Bird's going to find him. Purdue taking it off the glass. 2 points.
Celtics lead by 9. Paxson.
What they're doing is keeping Jordan in the middle of the floor, trying to get the defense to collapse from the wing so he opens up his teammates for the 3. Just like that.
Did not have the room in that first opportunity, but then able to bury it. So John Paxson has 19. He's hit 3 from downtown. 103-97 Boston. Lewis able to answer. 20 points for Reggie Lewis, who, as we mentioned earlier, was a question mark for today because of a bad back. Here's Jordan. Yes, Michael Jordan with the pure penetration. Celtics 105, the Bulls 99.
Nice adjustment by Phil Jackson, getting Jordan live in the middle of the floor with the basketball. Give him a little bit different look for the Celtics. Their defense knew what they wanted to do when he was posting.
Parrish forced into that difficult shot. Here's Jordan giving it up. Pippen. It is a 4-point Boston lead. Scottie Pippen has 25. So once again, the Bulls have come roaring back. We approach 4 minutes remaining in the 4th. Bird, yes. Larry Bird has 25. 6-point lead for the Celtics. The Bulls call for time. the Boston defensive work on Michael Jordan was clicking in the first half, but not so in the second. He has scored 20 of his 27 points in the second half.
Nice move by Phil Jackson. When you get Michael Jordan in the middle of the floor with the basketball, what you give him is the opportunity to penetrate in either direction, trying to bring in these defensive wings, opening up shots for his teammates, and that's what they've done. Last 5 times down the floor, Jordan with the ball in the middle, trying to pull that wing in, just a little bit of help, spot up the shooter, and he just can't recover in time. Paxson knocks down a 3.
He is, ladies and gentlemen, the czar of the telestrator. An unbelievable man.
Talented.
So Jordan with 27 and Bird with 25. Larry Bird with a terrific all-around performance. Timeouts remaining. Chicago with 2 and a 20. Celtics 2 and a 20 with just under 4 minutes to go. In this fourth quarter, shot clock is down to 5. Jordan, that was 2-point range. Loose ball foul. The outside official, Ed Rush, calling it on Boston. It's on Parrish. That's 3 on Parrish.
Grant was really up in the air that time. He gets a running start, takes off, and he's hanging there, hoping for that ball to get close enough to give him a chance on the tip.
Jordan posting up. And the foul on Lewis. Now they have corrected the foul rundown. 4 on Parrish and 4 on Bird. So that is the foul difficulty for Boston.
See, that time Jordan was coming from the side, so the whole Celtic defense could see where the ball was, see where he was. They could wall off the other side of the floor. Back again out of the middle that time.
Jordan trying to go glass. Cartwright. Bill Cartwright with only a second field goal. That's a big one. It cuts it down to 4 with 3:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Bird off the dribble, way off. And here comes Pippen out of the pack. Good transition by the Celtics. And Jordan will set it up. Lost the dribble off his foot. Good recovery by Paxson. Pippen changed his mind. And now shoots. And hits a three-pointer for Scottie Pippen, his second of the day. He has 28. And the Bulls within 1.
And notice again, the Bulls went back to Michael Jordan, starting that whole play off from the middle of the floor. It's really hurt the Celtics defense.
Shaw will not count. Offensive foul, says Mike Mathis. Used his elbow to set up.
Paxson playing him a little bit too tough, a little too close. He's trying to get a little room, uses that right shoulder and elbow to move him out of the way. See, Shaw thinks he's big enough. He just wants to get in the right spot to shoot it.
Bulls in possession. Now down by 1. Celtics have led by as many as 14. Jordan off the double pump. Found Grant. Last touch by the Celtics. Celtics were headed up the floor. The officials check it out. And it will be Chicago ball.
Again, Jordan, when he elevates and can see down inside and find a teammate, so tough to play.
Down to 3 on the 24. Down to 2, and Jordan gets it off. Oh, what a save by Pippen. And they get the new 24. A minute 50 to go in the fourth. Pippen in on Alicia.
Robert Parrish jumped out that time, switched on to Pippen, and then he just took him off the dribble as he should. Great hustle here by both teams. Pippen catches it one hand, at the same time turns and looks for who he's going to pass it to.
Robert Parrish committing number 5, and the Celtics are over the limit. The Bulls have a foul to give. Pippen is 6 for 6 from the line, and the game is tied at 107. Scottie Pippen who each year has improved his offensive output, now has 30 points. The Bulls take a 1-point lead. They have come from 14 down, looking to make it 3 out of 4 over the Celtics this season. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Pat Riley from the Boston Garden. The Bulls by 1 with 1:46 remaining in this fourth quarter. The first time the Bulls have led since it was 38-37 in the second quarter. Larry Bird, 11 for 24 now for his 25 points, along with 11 rebounds, 8 assists. Scottie Pippen leading Chicago with 30. Michael Jordan with 27, 20 of the 27 in the second half.
Keep in mind, Chicago still has one foul to give before Boston gets to the bonus situation.
Bird had it knocked away. Scottie Pippen with a defensive play to break it up.
And that's the kind of gamble you can take, knowing that if they call it a foul when you reach around, they still just get it back out on the side.
Oh, look out. Jordan strangled by Pinckney.
Pippen knows he can gamble and try and smack it from behind. If a foul is called, all they're going to do is take it out on the side. Instead, they come up with a steal. Jordan, seeing he's got a big guy switching out, just turns the corner, takes him to the basket.
Jordan is 5 for 5 from the line. So he has turned it after the 7-point first half. He was only 3 for 11 from the floor in that first half. Kevin McHale returns. And Ed Pinckney will sit down. This is a matchup of the top two teams in the Eastern Conference. Chicago 53-17, and the Bulls have the best overall record in the NBA. Boston at 51-20. That's their best record since the 86-87 season. And Mike, despite the success of the Bulls, their players feel they don't get the proper respect, in particular from the Indiana Pacers, who have been talking trash.
All they have to do is pick up the newspaper every day and see who's up on top, and that should be enough to satisfy them.
Cartwright on the rebound of the Lewis miss. Chicago Bulls down by as many as 14 with the ball and a 3-point lead. Here's Jordan. Jordan on the rebound. Bird tried to tie him up, and Jordan stepped out. Oh, let's see. They indicate, no, a timeout call. Michael Jordan wisely calling for time. He was in trouble, surrounded, and took the 20-second timeout.
Good call. He was in trouble under the basket after he beats him off the dribble and has a crowd of Celtics around him. Gets his hands back on it. Right here, he realizes, I'm in a lot of trouble, gang, and yet has the presence, after he comes up with it, to still call a quick timeout.
Bulls have 2 left. Boston with 1. And a 20 following the Bulls and the Celtics. Coming up next here on NBC, it'll be live final round coverage of the Players' Championship. And Paul Azinger is the man to catch. That's next, right here on NBC. 54 and 4/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Chicago Bulls with 11 wins their last 13 games. Boston Celtics have struggled recently. They just did get by Cleveland at home on Friday, lost in Miami on Thursday. And the Celtics hit by numerous injuries in recent weeks. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Jordan, he had it deflected. Parrish on the rebound. Boston down by 3. McHale was caught. Bird couldn't find the three-pointer. Here's McHale back to Bird for 3. Shaw able to keep it alive. Lewis from downtown. with the three to tie the game at 110. The Bulls take a timeout with 19 and 4/10 seconds to go in the fourth.
Hard to understand how, when Larry Bird has the ball, no one can be guarding him out by the three-point line. Understanding that the difference is three, you've got to push out on the perimeter players. You can't come out late and not extend a hand on the open shooters. You must force them to put it on the floor. Phil Jackson knows it's a problem. Oh, no.
And for Reggie Lewis, that his first successful three-pointer of this 1991 season. Celtics with only their second of the day. Bird hit one earlier. Chicago 5 for 8 from downtown. The Boston Celtics began the season shooting the three frequently, but not hitting. They have come on as of late. They dropped off for a spell, but they are back into it. So the Celtics and the Bulls tied at 110. When we resume, it will be Chicago ball with 19 and 4/10 seconds remaining.
Something that we may look for here as they come out of the huddle. Neither team has been called for a delay of game yet. Understanding that Chicago is probably going to play for the last shot, either win it or try to go into overtime, the Celtics may try to get a look at what this play is going to be. Notify the official, tell him, hey, look, I'm going to run over the line, get too close to the guy who's taking it out. I expect you to call a delay of game. What he's hoping is that the other four players on the team get a good look at what play they're running. Right now, it looks like Chicago's going to take it in on the baseline, so you won't get a chance to see it.
That has been a popular tactic recently. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, what they're going to try to do, the Chicago team, is try to string Michael Jordan off of a couple of picks. They figure they're going to overplay him, but they're still trying to bring him over. Marv.
All right, Ahmad. Out of 15 seconds. Game tied, 110. Paxson, hand check by Shaw. Jordan, top of the circle. Out of 5. Cartwright gets it to Jordan, but he couldn't hold on. Cartwright's pass off the mark. Phil Jackson was looking for a foul. He felt the Celtics were a bit too physical.
You need to give credit to Reggie Lewis. He knew that that was the guy they were going to. He fought him all the way. He tried to force him to back cut, which Jordan had an initial back cut early that he didn't take right around the middle of the foul line area. Instead, when he got over on the sideline, that's when he tried to back up. Right here is where he can go back door. Instead, he takes a straight. There's the back cut. The pass just a little too far.
3 seconds remaining in regulation. The game is tied at 110. The Bulls do have a foul to give to slow down the sequence as the Celtics inbound. Celtics are down to a 20-second timeout left, and the Bulls have 1 timeout remaining.
And let's keep in mind, the Celtics, as Phil Jackson takes a little look at what's going on there, he kind of feels that the Celtics were a little too physical. There's the hold he's calling for right there. He's got his arm. That's why he couldn't get away to catch the pass from Cartwright. But the Celtics understand that the Bulls have a foul to give. So they will anticipate as soon as they catch, someone's going to try to foul them. They may just try to get a shot up immediately so it's in the act of shooting.
The Chicago Bulls down by as many as 14. Sparked by the combination of Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan in the second half. Have been able to come back. They had an opportunity to take the lead, but the pass went astray. It is now Celtic ball. 3 seconds remaining. And Boston will put it in play at half court. The Bulls, as we mentioned, with that 1 foul to give. Pippen on the inbounds. Bird will throw it in. Bird wants room. And there it is. That is the delay of game.
They got to look at what they wanted. They know what play they want to run. Now they should be able to defend it better.
So Pippen stepped over the line. Bird couldn't find anyone. And let's see what the call is. Last touched by Chicago. Now down to 2 4/10 seconds remaining. Chris Ford reminding Larry Bird there is a 20-second timeout left. Again, they line it up. Here's McHale. Back for Bird for the game winner. We go to overtime.
Everyone held their breath. They still thought it was going to go in after it was up on the top of the glass.
The Celtics and the Bulls tied at 1:10 at the end of regulation. Larry Bird and the Celtics do not get the hop. Here's another look at it from behind the basket. He hit the rim, the high hop, but no go. On to OT, and we'll be back after these words from your local station. All right, Charlie, we go to overtime here in Boston. The Bulls and the Celtics tied at 1:10. Phil Jackson checking out the shot by Larry Bird. That accepts it well.
He said if that would have gone in, it wouldn't have been fair. This guy's cheering all the way at this end, saying, please go in.
It did not drop. And so, for the first time this season, the Bulls play an overtime game. They're the only NBA team not to be involved in OT, while the Celtics one up and one down in overtime. Parrish and Cartwright on the opening tip.
And the Celtics starting the overtime with the combination of the old front line and the young backcourt.
Bird on the drive to the left hand. The tip by McHale. Boston by 2. Just the start of this 5-minute overtime session. Paxson and Jordan at the guards. Cartwright, Pippen, Grant up front. Jordan played well by Lewis. Illegal defense called by Boston. And that is their second infraction. It will be a technical foul.
You know, Cartwright asking the assistant trainer there, please hold my contact. I'll do without it for now.
Jordan will shoot the technical. He is 7 for 7 from the line. Bulls 25 for 28 from the foul line. Boston has been at the line only 12 times, 9 for 12.
A tough coaching decision right here for Chris Ford. Do you play D. Brown, who's had an outstanding game scoring-wise, or do you leave Shaw in there? His thinking, from what he mentioned to us yesterday, Shaw runs the team better with the old front line on the floor. That's where they're going to go right now, to those people up front for scores, and need somebody to get him the ball at the right time.
Paxson open. And the call is last touched by Chicago. Boston 112. Chicago 111. 1 minute gone by in overtime. Cartwright pushing and shoving. Parrish. Yes. Robert Parrish giving Boston a 3-point advantage. Pippen. And it's down to 1. Celtics 114 and the Bulls 113.
I kind of forget about Robert Parrish. Just before that shot, he's 4 for 5 from the floor. He makes that one. He's 5 for 6. Very quiet game for him.
Scottie Pippen has 32. Stay right here, says Mike Mathis. The push on that man, Bill Cartwright. Third foul committed by Cartwright. Non-shooting affair. Philadelphia has defeated Cleveland at the Spectrum 110-101. Game that saw Charles Barkley forced out with a ligament injury. Bird, he was in, but not able to convert. However, the foul called on Chicago. Some consolation by Kevin McHale.
Well, Bird just can't get the left-handers to fall for him today. He's missed a number of them. They're up on the rim, just won't go.
Grant picks up his third. Down to 3:10 remaining in this 5-minute overtime session. 8 on the shot clock. Parrish checked the clock. Parrish, yes. 2 big buckets by Robert Parrish in overtime. And he's hearing the chant of Chief from this capacity crowd. Boston 116, Chicago 113. Pippen with the step, and then rejected by Bird. Jordan was deflected short. Oh, superb defensive sequence by the Celtics.
And what the Celtics did that time, they put Kevin McHale on Pippen with those long arms. He can play off him just enough to cause some indecision whether he should shoot the three-pointer or put it on the floor. Once he put it down, the Celtics helped out.
Offensive foul on McHale. Pushing out to locate the proper position, and he is hit with number 5.
Let's take a look at McHale down low, posting up. See if he uses that arm to hold him off illegally.
5 apiece on McHale and Parrish. Bird has 4. Pippen met by Bird, rejected by McHale. It will be Chicago ball.
That's twice in a row that Pippen has tried to go by McHale, and Bird has been the teammate to help out and either get a piece or change the shot.
The Bulls with 5 on the shot clock, and they've called for a timeout. We'll be right back.